Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Arc Arena here on the campus of Baruch College in a very chilly New York City for this afternoon's first game after the break between your Bearcats, the women's basketball of Baruch College, and the Pioneers from Smith College. I'm here to introduce my play-by-play partner, Joe Stolzer. Joe, this will be a good one today.
Hi, John. Good afternoon. And, yeah, I got my thermals on, and we are ready. Hopefully it's going to be heated here in the vertical arena. And nice game today. Smith College Pioneers coming in. And they provide a really good game and test for the Baruch Bearcats. John, Smith College averaging 73.7 points per game, outscoring their opponents by 15. They're shooting 45% from field goal range, 38% from three, 67% from the foul line, averaging 43 points per game rebounding-wise, and turning it over 17 times a game. They are 7-2 overall, 2-1 in conference, 5-1 in non-conference, coached by Lynn Hersey in her 11th year, and are led by Lauren Bondi coming in at 16.4 per game, and Kelly Pritchard Guest at 15.7 and also 11 rebounds per game. And on the other side, the hometown Baruch Bearcats 1-4 overall, 1-1 in conference play, 0-3 non-conference, averaging 51.4 points per game, 28% from the field. Hopefully they can heat up a little bit here in the Arc Arena. Three-point field goal percentage is at 30% on the season, and they are shooting 58.9 as a team from the free throw line. They are turning the ball over 18 times a game. They are led by fourth-year coach Kelly and Barrett. And on the court, Shannon Barrett comes in averaging 19.8 points per game and 8.8 rebounds. And her partner, Melinda Spayu, just a freshman, does so many things for the Bearcats, averaging almost 11 points a game, second on the team in steals, and almost 8 rebounds a game. So, John, we look for a tough game for Baruch, but they almost pulled out a tough one against Old Westbury. Odds were stacked against them, but I look for a scrappy team, and that's a characteristic of Coach Barrett.
Yeah, the last game, the Bearcats had a chance at the end, and the ball rolled out. Did not get the home team roll in that one, and gave the undefeated at the time, Old Westbury, a great game. The team came out on fire that game, but Old Westbury was able to pull it out and literally squeeze out the wind, and I'm sure they walked away with a lot of respect for the Bearcats. We are now set to go here, and we'll now turn it over to our play-by-play public address announcer, Marty Collins. So while we wait here and they get set up, this is, of course, a doubleheader today. Following this women's game will be the men's game. The Bearcats taking on William Patterson. And very interesting, Joe. The women today are playing the Pioneers. The men are playing William Patterson Pioneers. Here we go with the public address.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job. Nicely done.
You informed me. I almost pressed play on overpowered.
I'll do a better job next time.
Now let's meet today's starting lineups. First for the Pioneers. At guard, a 5'6" junior from Hobby. It is Columbia, Canada, number 5, Paul Hobby. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Ackerton, California, number 10, David Holland. At guard, a 5'9" senior from San Francisco, California, number 13, David Hopkins. Senior from Mill Valley, California, number 14, Emma Baskin. Assistant junior from Denver, Georgia, number 30, Kennedy S. Richard. Head coach is Smith College, Lynn Hessing. And the assistant coaches Jen McCauley and Devin Rodriguez. Now today's start is the Baruch College Bearcats. At guard, a 5'6" freshman from Staten Island, New York, number 15, Linda Spinu. And forward, a 5'7" freshman from Brooklyn, New York, number 34, Lizette DeMore. At guard, a 5'3" senior from Woodside, New York, number 12, Jacqueline Abicume. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Brooklyn, New York, number 25, Maria Arianopoulos. And at center, a 5'11" senior from Middle Village, New York, number 31, Shannon Barrett. And head coach of the Bearcats, Kelly and Barrett, the assistant coach, Michael Petrosis, and the volunteer and assistant coaches, Kristen Arlovitz. Now let's play ball.
Great job by Marty Collins as usual, and here we go, Joe. We've set up the table, and now it's time to play some basketball. The first basketball here after the final exam and holiday break, and it's always a very fun time of the year, very quiet on campus, everyone looking forward to the holiday weekend. And as somebody like me who loves my sports, I can't think of a better way to start the holiday weekend than with some basketball.
Yes, Saturday afternoon, whether you're in Philly at the Palestra on the Big Five or you're here in Manhattan, it's basketball. Can't get any better. John, I look for Baruch. Basically, their game plan is look for their leading player, Barrett, and try not turn the ball over. You know, don't beat yourself. And really, really find your man and box out. And that's what I look for right early on.
Smith, of course, as you mentioned, comes into the game with a 7-2 record. And now they tip off. They start off the season with wins against Pine Manor, Southern Maine, Bates, and Salva Regina. Lost to Williams College by only 11. And they lost to MIT. And they have followed up since with wins at WPI, Coast Guard, and Westfield State. And right off the bat, the Pioneers get on the board, Megan Holland.
Yeah, what Baruch didn't do is seal, and that will hurt you. You got to find your man and box out. One of the keys to any game.
Smith in town for the holiday weekend. They'll take on NYU tomorrow.
Kelly Barrett with her signature spin move, but couldn't finish. Shannon Barrett.
And right off the bat, Kennedy Guest Pritchett, a junior from Fairborn, Georgia, gives the visiting Pioneers a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, she's one of the keys to the Smith attack.
Mariantopoulos with the miss, rebounded by Lauren Bondi. You'll hear her name quite a bit tonight. She's one of their top players. Barrett with the rebound, and she gets fouled.
Yeah, Baruch got away with that, not being there on defense, giving Smith an open look. One of the things that's going to be the key here is quick feet, quick hands by the Bearcats on defense.
Here's Tomikon with the ball, passes it out to Miriantopoulos. She gives it to Shannon Barrett, who you would expect is being closely guarded, but Shannon draws another foul.
Shannon has got to be concerned for any team because her ability to put it on the floor, and you can't leave her open because she can hit the three.
Yeah, she's shown that time and time again. And Spayu draws the foul.
Melinda Spayu, just a freshman, but plays with a lot of confidence. And she also very effective at putting the ball on the floor and going to the basket.
She'll be our halftime interview, so stay tuned for that. Barrett for three, just short.
John, Baruch is only getting one shot. They're going to have to really crash the boards and keep the possession alive.
Bearcats in zone defense. And short jump shot by number 13, Paige Marquez, a senior from San Francisco, California. You know, you look up and down the Smith College roster, Seattle, Arizona, Pennsylvania, California. They're all over. A lot of national recruiting.
Yeah, Smith College, obviously a reputable university, great academics, great sports.
Rebounded by Barrett.
Barrett, the do-everything player for the Bearcats, can also bring the ball effectively up the court.
Spayu with the ball, gives it to the board, to Tomikon. Here comes Barrett, drives down the middle. Rebounded by Smith.
That was a good shot. Shannon just has to make it.
And they're going to call the foul on Miriantopoulos. That's her first as well as the team's first. More information about Smith. They're in the NUMAC conference with Babson, Clark, Coast Guard, Emerson, MIT, Mount Holyoke, Smith, Springfield, Wesley, Wheaton, and WPI.
John, Smith College only shoots 67% from the free throw line.
Want to make a special note, making her collegiate debut here at Baruch. Samira Ahmed for the Bearcats, wearing number 20.
Well, hopefully this is a good debut for our new player right off the bat.
Boom!
Well, that's a good start to a career right off the bat. Nice shot.
She transferred from Queensboro and had some good games for Queensboro, so she's going to help the Bearcats out.
Well, hitting your first shot gets rid of the butterflies.
Jump ball, and it's Bearcats.
If the Bearcats can do that throughout the game, I'm going to say it always. Quick hands, quick feet, recipe for victory.
Mentioning their conference opponents, two of the conference members that Bearcats fans will most recognize. One is Babson, which tends to get mentioned a lot with Baruch when it comes to business school rankings, both being terrific schools. The other one is Springfield, who our men's volleyball team played quite a bit. Springfield will be coming here to the Arc Arena on March the 2nd. And traveling.
Yes, Springfield, a long-time school known for its phys ed program, right near the Basketball Hall of Fame. So that's a good connection.
Smith with the ball. Up 8-2 as we approach the midway point. Stolen by Spayu. And the shot is blocked, and there's a foul called.
Melinda Spayu has shown throughout the season doing the intangibles, things that don't show up in the box score. Really, known now for her steals. And again, things that don't show up in the box score.
Smith trying to run a play. Looks like they're going to go into the corner for 3, but it looks like there's going to be a foul called in the low post on number 14, Amanda Berscali, a senior from Mill Valley, California.
Good defensive possession for Baruch as they stayed in position, and they let Smith make the turnover.
8-2. It's been this way now for a few minutes after a quick start by Smith. And off the turnover, here comes Smith. And it looks like they're going to draw the foul on DeBoard.
Yeah, DeBoard was in improper position to defend there.
So 2 shots for Sidney Coe, the junior from Seattle, Washington. Hits the first. Bearcats, after this afternoon's game, will return to action on Tuesday after the holiday. They'll go out to Drew out in Madison, New Jersey for a non-conference. And then Wednesday, they'll resume their CUNYAC schedule with a contest against Medgar Evers. 10-2 now as we approach the midway point of the first period. Spayu with the ball. Trying to find an opening. Into the corner to Thamakan. Short jump shot. Back of the rim, no good, but rebounded by Spayu. Ball is loose and it's going to stay the same way.
Spayu, great pass to an open teammate and got the offensive rebound. She's a player that does so many things for you out there in the court.
Oh, and they've corrected the call, and then instead now I'm going to give it to Smith. The referee on the high post outside the three-point line went over to the referee underneath the basket to kind of clarify that she thought the ball went off the Bearcats. So bad break there for the Bearcats.
Bearcats have to keep this game close by first on the defensive end. Stay home in your position.
Oh, nice block by Barrett.
Great block by Shannon.
Barrett looks to have maybe been hit in the eye, but she keeps playing on. Three. Short, rebounded by Smith.
Like to see Shannon put the ball on the floor from the corner.
Oh, missed an uneasy one. Spayu with the rebound. Let's see if the Bearcats can capitalize on the mistake. And the cross-court pass gets stolen. And no good. And now a whistle's blown and the ball is out of bounds. Bearcats will get possession. And head coach Kellyanne Barrett's going to call a timeout. 30-second timeout. Smith leading it here. 3:27 to go here in the first period. Smith 10, Bearcats 2.
Yeah, John, although the score indicates 10-2 favors Smith, Baruch is in this game because this is a game of runs. If Baruch, again, does their job on defense and gets Shannon Barrett started on the offensive end, we will have a ball game.
Yeah, you look at the Bearcats' previous 5 games. Most of the time they've been off to slow starts, allowing the home team to get big leads, with the exception of Old Westbury when the Bearcats got off to the big lead. Fortunately, it's only 10-2, and Smith has missed their fair share of easy shots. And the Bearcats are just 1 or 2 baskets away from keeping this closer.
Yeah, Baruch very capable of shooting the 3. But once again, this game starts on the defensive end, and they're doing a good job on that.
Spayu gives it to Barrett. Back to Spayu. And running jump shot, but they're going to call jump ball, and that's going to send it the Pioneers' way.
That was a good idea by Ahmed. Put the ball down, just a good defensive play to take away the lane.
Cross-court pass, here's a three. No good, rebounded again by Barrett.
Barrett had great position.
Here's Ahmed to Spayu. Tamakan back to Ahmed. Passes it to Barrett. Back to Ahmed. She's going to drive. Shot no good. And Smith comes with it the other way.
I think Ahmed is going to help Baruch down the road. She seems to be a very skilled offensive player.
Traveling. And with that, Smith is going to make 3 substitutions, bringing in 3 new players, including starter number 30, Kennedy Guest Pritchett.
Yeah, Pritchett's a key player for Smith. Almost 16 points a game and 11 rebounds.
Here's Ahmed. Miriantopoulos. Barrett for 3. Front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Smith.
Yeah, one and out for the Bearcats. No offensive rebounds.
And Smith now. Right down the paint, Samantha Alakai, a senior from Hawaii.
Well, that was made possible by a super interior pass by Pritchett to find a cutting teammate.
.146 to go here in the first period. Here's Barrett, shot good!
Well, if that's a sign of things to come, it's going to be a good day for Baruch, because that was a prayer, if you will, went in for Shannon Barrett.
No call there. Smith with the ball. And an offensive rebound by Smith. We're under 1 minute now here in the first quarter. Ball will stay the same way.
Baruch is set up, good position in their zone defense.
And to the basket was number 15, Katie McClellan, a junior out of Palmyra, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, she had an opening, and Barrett got there a little bit too late.
No good. And hits one, 14-4. 35 seconds left here in the first period. Ahmed, Tamakan, Barrett. Back to Ahmed. Drives, recovers. They're going to call a foul.
Yeah, Ahmed trying her best to shake the defender.
So Ahmed will go to the line looking for making her debut this afternoon and looking to pick up her 3rd point of the game. And she does. She's got a good shooting angle shot on her.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with her early on because she plays with a lot of energy and seems to have some offensive skills in her bag of tricks.
16 seconds left. Smith running a play. Short jump shot in the paint is good.
That was a classic post move.
Half court shot, no good. So that ends the first quarter with the Pioneers of Smith leading 16-6. We'll take a break here for a commercial.
For the love of the game. Gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream. We are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
Back here as we get ready to start the second period. Smith College leading it 16-6. Take a look at some of the summary here. Leading the way for Smith College is Alaka with 5 points. And also with 4 points is Marquez. 6 different players have scored in that first period for Smith. For the Bearcats, Samira Ahmed in her collegiate debut has scored 4 of the 6 points. Shannon Barrett has the other 2. And that's where we are now as we start the second period here in the Arc Arena on a very, very cold day in New York City, the start of the holiday weekend here.
John,
and Bearcats will come out with their same 5.
Lauren Bondi, the big gun for Smith, quiet, as well as Shannon Barrett, first quarter, quiet.
A lot of teams in action today. In addition to the Bearcats Pioneers, Staten Island's at MIT, who also, by the way, plays in the NUMAC conference that Smith plays in. Lehman in their Coaches versus Cancer Classic today championship will host FDU Forum. FDU Forum a few years ago won the national championship. That's an exciting one up there. Encourage you to check that out on LehmanAthletics.com. No good, rebounded by Smith.
Yeah, once again, one shot and done for the Bearcats.
Traveling. Other games today, Old Westbury is at York, and Hardwick versus Hunter. I believe that's being played up in Maine in one of the holiday tournaments. Spayu with the ball to Thamakan, to the high post to Barrett. Throws it into the corner to Miriantopoulos.
Miriantopoulos, a three-point threat.
Oh, nice play, one-handed by Ahmed. Very nice.
Ahmed with a big-time move over the defense.
Oh, she's excited. You could just tell by the body language. Great sign for the Bearcats. Traveling.
Good defensive possession after a basket by the Bearcats. And if you stay in your position, let the other team turn it over, which the Bearcats just did.
Head coach Lynn Hersey makes another 3 substitutions. She likes to move players in and out. They've got a big roster and taking advantage of that depth. Thamakan, high post to Barrett. Tries to drive down the lane. Ball is loose. Comes the other way to Smith. And they're going to call Ahmed on the foul, but a good foul. She did not make the layup.
Yeah, Shannon Barrett on her way to the basket had the step on the defender before falling down.
Bondi from Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada, one of the most beautiful places in North America up there, along with one of the more prettier cities, Vancouver.
A lot of talent coming from Canada these last few years through the AAU programs.
Misses the second, but rebounded. And off of that, they pick up 2 more points, 19-8.
Yeah,
Smith leading.
Baruch was a little bit sleepy there on the rebound.
And now it looks like Spayu, leg got tangled up. And the referee giving her a minute to make sure she's okay. Otherwise, she'll be subbed. And looks like she's going to brush it off. So hopefully nothing too serious.
Very impressed by this freshman, Melinda Spayu. Does so many things for the Bearcats.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to know that she's going to be around for another 3 years. Back to Barrett. 7 on the shot clock. 3-pointer by Barrett. Good!
That's the recipe to get right back in this game. Your top player hits a 3.
No good. Rebounded by Ahmed.
Big offensive position, John, for the Bearcats. They got Smith on the heels.
Another 3. Oh, no good, but rebounded by Spayu. And she's going to pull it back out. Comes Spayu into the corner to Thamakan. Short jump shot is no good. And Smith comes the other way. And the ball gets stripped away, but Smith recovers.
Ahmed showing some defense.
That was a good defensive play that time. Short, no good. Rebounded by Barrett. Barrett with 6 rebounds. And a timeout will be called by Smith. 19-11, 6:44 here in the second period. The first game of an afternoon doubleheader. William Patterson coming in here to take on the men's basketball team, the Bearcats, here at 4 p.m.
John, looking into the Baruch huddle, Coach Barrett urging her players to really take advantage of a little bit of a momentum change. 19-11 score, Smith on top. But the Barrett 3, the emergence of Ahmed as an offensive help to Shannon Barrett, really encouraging. So if I'm Coach Barrett in the timeout, I say, listen, you can make some noise right now.
Smith will take the ball out. Bearcats will settle back into their zone defense. Down low into the post. Cross-court pass. Blocked.
Boy, Shannon Barrett just does so much in that interior area for the Bearcats.
Barrett with 6 rebounds in this game and already has 2 blocks. And rebounded by Ahmed.
Great position by Ahmed.
Down low to Spayu. Looks to have brushed off the ankle from before. Down low. Up and doesn't get the roll.
Very nice move, a little spin, and almost went for a possible 3-pointer, but she goes to the line for 2.
So Spayu to the free throw line. Looking for her first point. No good. and makes the second, 19-12 with 6:06 here in the second period. Underneath, no good. Barry got a partial block on that one, and she also gets the rebound.
Good position by Barrett once again.
Here comes Ahmed, looking for an opening. Loses the ball, but Marianthopoulos recovers, and they're going to call her for traveling. Bearcats will make a substitution now. Lizette DeBoard comes into the game for Jacqueline Damagon.
I like this trio, Barrett, Ahmed, and Spayu. That's very encouraging if you're a Bearcat fan.
Low post again, no good. Offensive rebound, and this way puts a shot in.
Pritchard just got that low post kind of body. You know, you really have to muscle to play her.
And the ball is stolen.
Yeah, Baruch hurt themselves with an errant pass.
And another low post basket by Guess Pritchard. Back-to-back baskets. Went down hard as she fell. Just an accident. And they're out now 23-12, 4:43 here in the second period.
That was a great look by Bondi to find a cutting Pritchard.
Barrett, Spayu with a short jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Guess Pritchard. Name mentioned quite a bit here in the last few minutes. And right up and in, found the seam. And Lauren Bondi.
Lauren Bondi, the leading scorer for the Pioneers, with a good crossover to free herself.
Smith getting ready now to make 4 players to come in to sub. Marianthopoulos with the ball. To the board. Ball is tipped, but it's going to stay the same way. So 4 new players coming in for the Pioneers.
DeBorg, one of the energy players for the Bearcats, are also very encouraging for the future.
Jump shot, no good. Was trying to beat the shot clock. And Smith with the ball. And short jump shot is good. And with that, the Bearcats will call a full timeout. Joe, while we got a chance for this break, let's take a look at the CUNYAC standings. Again, very early in the season. Staten Island leading the way in CUNY with a 3-0 record, 8-1 overall. Hunter having a really good season, 3-0 in CUNY, 7-2 overall. They're playing Hardwick today up in Maine. Lehman playing the championship of their Coaches versus Cancer Classic run by Eric Harrison. They are 6-4. Brooklyn College and head coach Alex Slang are off to a 7-2 start, 1-1 in conference play. Bearcats, again, very early, 1-1, 1-4 overall. CCNY, 5-4 overall, 1-2. And followed by York at 1-2 in conference, 3-6 overall. And then down at the bottom is Medgar Evers and John Jay, each winless here on the young season.
Yeah, CUNY women's basketball, always a very competitive conference. You know, teams go on a run for a couple of years and then things change, but a very, very good conference.
Yeah, I think you could say this year, although probably Staten Island on paper might be leading the way as the favorite, I think on a good day and with a good run, you might potentially see 5 to 6 teams. The Bearcats, they're going to be in the hunt. Some updates to come. You look at a player like Ahmed. Spayu Shannon Barrett, without a doubt, one of the top players in Cuniac. A lot of basketball to be played this season. Jump shot by Ahmed, falls short. Rebounded by DeBoard. Good offensive rebound.
Yeah, DeBorg is an intangible player like Spyu for the Bearcats.
Short jump shot, no good. Does not get the roll. Bearcats just do not get the benefit of that home gym roll sometimes. And there's a foul called.
This is a big possession, John, for the Bearcats. They've got to stop the little run that Smith is on.
Ahmed with the ball. Gives it to Barrett. Running jump shot. This time no good. And the ball, looks like they're going to call a foul on Barrett from behind.
Yeah, she just lost her balance and ran into the player.
No good. Rebounded by Spyu. Spyu going one-on-one, decides to pull it back, gives it to Barrett. Down low to Spyu. And seeing the double team, she throws the ball off a Smith player to keep it Bearcats possession. Very smart play on that one. Here comes Barrett with a three. No good. Rebounded offensively again. This time by Spyu. And she gives it to a cutting Barrett. Up and in. Oh, great play.
Great play, but that's something that Spyu brings to this Bearcat attack. She's got eyes in the back of her head.
Spyu does a little bit of everything, and great play by Barrett to recognize the lane being open and made the basket.
Couldn't have come at a better time, John.
Traveling. Two more subs come into the game for Smith.
A play like that can really ignite your team.
Into the game, number 21, Stephanie Forcaris, a junior from Cyprus. And number 22, Nakia Snoddy from Stowe, Massachusetts.
Very international look for the Pioneers.
Spyu with the ball, gives it to Ahmed. Little jump shot. Oh, tries to fake the jump shot, doesn't get the shot off. Now to Spyu for the shot. No good. Rebounded again by Lizette DeBoer. That's her second offensive rebound in the last 3 minutes.
Lizette DeBoer, time in and time again, does things that do not show up in the box score, but you need players on the team like that.
Absolutely. And here's a three. Knocks it down. Number 24, Sydney Coe, a junior from Seattle.
Yeah, that's a big shot because it takes away the couple of good things that Baruch has done in the last couple of minutes. But here's how you win games. You take the hit, come back.
28 seconds left here in the second period. Stay tuned at halftime. We'll have a halftime interview with Melinda Spyu. There's another play up the middle. And, oh, boy, this time they're going to call traveling.
Great look by Spyu, finding Barrett, a quarterback to an open receiver. Really good. That's a turnover, John, but as a coach, you got to be happy in the way Melinda Spyu finds people.
Final play will go to Smith. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3. Last shot of the game. No good. And with that, we come to the conclusion of the first 2 periods here at halftime with your score. The Pioneers of Smith College 30 and your Baruch College Bearcats 14. Let's take a quick look at the statistics. Barrett leading the way for the Bearcats with 7 points. She also has 7 rebounds and 2 blocks. Ahmed in her intercollegiate debut here for the Bearcats with 6 points. She is 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And for the visiting Pioneers, 7 different players have been on the score sheet, and they are led by Guest Pritchett with 8 points.
Yeah, John, Smith had a little run there that created a problem for Baruch, and again, Baruch has got to find a way to answer. There was some really good things in that first half, John. Ahmad, as you mentioned, it's a debut, and I like her. I like what she brings to this attack because Shannon Barrett does need help. But if you're a Baruch fan, very encouraging to know that Melinda Spayu, DeBoer, boy, things that show up on the scoreboards, things that don't. And these are really good signs for Coach Barrett. When practice comes, you have some things that you can really work on.
We're going to go to halftime break here now, and we're going to present an interview that Jamal Chapman, one of our play-by-play guys who will be doing the men's game, did with our freshman from Staten Island, Melinda Spayu. So here we go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jamal Chapman. Alongside with me is starting guard for the
lucky loss, that kind of comes from little mistakes during the game. So I think, we just have to tweak those a little bit. We played pretty good defense against a really solid team, so I think we'll be okay going forward.
That's good, always staying positive and always looking forward to the next game,
Okay.
Yeah, so now this is your first season here. So what is the transition like coming from Notre Dame High School out of Staten Island, now over here to Baruch College?
It definitely was difficult. I think the biggest challenge for myself is the time. So there's an extra 2 minutes for each quarter. And, because we are low in numbers and, having to play a lot, I think that's kind of the biggest challenge for myself. I have to keep my stamina up, trying to always, can't slack, because that doesn't just affect me, it affects my whole team. So I think that's probably my biggest challenge.
Right.
Transitioning over.
So transitioning is keeping your stamina up, making sure you can stay heavy, stay out on that court,
Exactly.
So now, what are some of the expectations that you set for yourself this season?
I think for me it is kind of to be an overall player, not just, offensively and putting up points. That's not really what it's all about. I think defensively that's kind of more important and, not just scoring but assisting and kind of making everyone a part of the play.
Speaking of defense, one thing you pointed out, you're not averaging 3 steals on the season. What are some things that you'd like to do on the defensive end to, stop the offensive play as they're coming at you?
I think being solid is really important, but I also like to take a couple risks, smart risks, actually. I'm not sure if they're all smart, but whatever. I think kind of taking the risk and, trying to get a hand in, trying to get a steal is kind of important, especially getting those transition points.
Right.
So I think that's kind of how I play as the defensive player.
All right, so taking those risks, taking those gambles, and being scrappy at the same time.
Smart ones, yeah, smart risks.
Nice. So I could tell, from your time in high school, you played 4 years. You played 4 years of soccer. You was four-time MVP. So how have some of those skills from soccer have translated for you onto the basketball court?
I think with soccer, the big thing is kind of speed and stamina. So like I said before, my biggest challenge is kind of getting up and down the court, and I think soccer really did help me with that, and especially with kind of the mental part of it, being mentally tough and, not giving up on my team. So I think that's kind of what soccer has brought to me on the court.
So wow, you've been able to learn a lot of things from the different sports you played, and now you're ready to take it on and let that help you as your time here at Baruch.
Yeah, exactly.
You have it. Starting guard for the Baruch Lady Bearcats, Melinda Spyhu. I'm Jamal Chapman. Goodbye.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. And in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
Hello everyone, my name is Jamal Chapman, and alongside with me is starting guard for the Baruch Lady Bearcats, Melinda Spyhu. How you doing today, Melinda?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
All right, so let's get it started. So, last Saturday, you guys suffered a tough loss against the Old Westbury Panthers. How do you guys look to bounce back from that game?
I think we're going to do fine. We played a very good game against a very good team. It was just unlucky loss. That kind of comes from little mistakes during the game. So I think, we just have to tweak those a little bit. We played pretty good defense against a really solid team. So I think we'll be okay going forward.
Oh, that's good. Always staying positive and always looking forward to the next game,
Yeah.
Yeah, so now this is your first season here. So what is the transition like coming from Notre Dame High School out of Staten Island, now over here to Baruch College?
It definitely was difficult. I think the biggest challenge for myself is the time. So there's an extra 2 minutes for each quarter. And, because we are low in numbers and, having to play a lot, I think that's kind of the biggest challenge for myself. I have to keep my stamina up, trying to always, can't slack, because that doesn't just affect me, it affects my whole team. So I think that's probably my biggest challenge.
Right.
Transitioning over.
So transitioning is keeping your stamina up, making sure you can stay heavy, stay out on that court,
Exactly.
So now, what are some of the expectations that you set for yourself this season?
I think for me it is kind of to be an overall player, not just, offensively and putting up points. That's not really what it's all about. I think defensively, that's kind of more important, and, not just scoring, but assisting and kind of making everyone a part of the play.
Speaking of defense, one thing you pointed out, you're not averaging 3 steals on the season. What are some things that you'd like to do on the defensive end to, stop the offensive play as they're coming at you?
I think being solid is really important, but I also like to take a couple risks, smart risks, actually. I'm not sure if they're all smart, but whatever. I think kind of taking the risk and, trying to get a hand in, trying to get a steal is kind of important, especially getting those transition points.
Right.
So I think that's kind of how I play as the defensive player.
All right, so taking those risks, taking those gambles, and being scrappy at the same time.
Smart ones, yeah, smart risks.
Nice. So I could tell, from your time in high school, you played 4 years. You played 4 years of soccer. You was four-time MVP. So how have some of those skills from soccer have translated for you onto the basketball court?
I think with soccer, the big thing is kind of speed and stamina. So like I said before, my biggest challenge is kind of getting up and down the court, and I think soccer really did help me with that, and especially with kind of the mental part of it, being mentally tough and, not giving up on my team. So I think that's kind of what soccer has brought to me on the court.
So wow, you've been able to learn a lot of things from the different sports you played, and now you're ready to take it on and let that help you as your time here at Baruch.
Yeah, exactly.
You have it. Starting guard for the Baruch Lady Bearcats, Melinda Spyhu. I'm Jamal Chapman. Goodbye.
Welcome back, everybody, here as we begin the start of the third period. Smith leading the Bearcats 30-14. Now let's take a look at the top scorers for the Bearcats. Shannon Barrett leading the way with 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And making her collegiate debut here today in terms of senior colleges, Samir Ahmed with 6 points. And she also has 2 rebounds. For the visitors, Smith. Let's take a look at their stats. They are led by Guess Pritch with 8 points and 7 rebounds, so she's on her way to a double-double. They also have 7 points from Alakai. Perfect 3 for 3 from the field, and she also has 3 rebounds. And they are 2 of 7 players, Guess Pritch and Alakai, who have scored this afternoon here for the Pioneers.
John, it's very important for Baruch to come out strong in the opening minutes of the second half. It's a 16-point Smith lead, but oftentimes teams that come out in the second half and assert themselves do well.
And right off the bat, Smith responds. Guess Pritchett.
Guess Pritchett, a very formidable low-post player for Smith.
Here's Barrett with the running layup. It counts. Nice play. So Barrett picks up 2 more points, and she'll go to the free throw line looking to finish off the 3-point play.
That's a good sign that Barrett comes out asserting herself to open up the second half. They're going to need her.
Front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Smith, 32-16. As we are underway here in the third period. And the ball off of the foot of Guess Pritchett. And the Bearcats come the other way.
But Melinda Spayou right there to get that loose ball. That's what she does.
Back to Marianthopoulos. She'll drive. Rebounded by Smith.
She's got to go strong under the basket.
Oh, a little play there by Bondi, but Barrett with the rebound.
Bondi, the leading scorer for Smith, has been quiet today.
Spayou with the ball. Bearcats looking to set up for a play. Marianthopoulos over to Barrett. Barrett being closely guarded by Marquez. And Smith with it the other way. Up post. Short jump shot. And it's good. Paige Marquez, senior from San Francisco.
Yeah, Baruch couldn't find their man on that play, leading to an open shot.
Three-pointer, front of the rim. Marquez with the rebound, going cross court. No good. But Marquez manages to grab the offensive rebound and keep the ball with Smith. Short and not good. Rebounded by Guess Pritchett and up and in.
Yeah, Guess Pritchett is a tough player underneath. You have to locate her, seal her. Once she gets the ball, she's tough to stop. John, Baruch is a different team in the second half without Samir Ahmed, who had a big impact in the first half.
No good. Good shot that time by Melinda Spayou. And Bondi comes the other way. Pass is too strong. Spayou manages to grab it, but Smith recovers. And pass in the box, no good, but offensive rebound for Smith. And here's Guess Pritchett. And she's fouled by Barrett.
Yeah, Baruch can't let Pritchett camp down low. They've got to find a way to get her out of her comfort position.
No good. So 2 more subs are going to come in. One of them will be for the shooter. 6:36 here in the third period. No good. Rebounded by DeBoard. Short jump shot by Spayu. No good. Rebounded by Guess Pritchett.
Yes, Spayu's got to slow it down and run some offense.
And underneath, Amanda Berescali, a senior from Mill Valley, California.
Yeah, she's one of the, she's averaging 8 points a game coming in. She's one of their offensive threats for Smith.
So Barrett draws the foul, and she needs a moment. One of the hardest working players in the CUNY Athletic Conference. So her teammates are going to help her up, and she'll go to the free throw line.
John, I see Samir Ahmed is at the scores table looking to come in. If you're a Bearcat fan, looks like you want her on the court. She's a very good-looking player.
So the head coach, Kellyanne Barrett, will call a timeout here with 6 minutes remaining here in the third period. I want to remind everyone that our next basketball doubleheader will be on Saturday, January the 6th, and it's a good one, Alumni Day. 12 p.m., women's basketball will take on Staten Island. 2 p.m., men's basketball alumni game. 3 p.m. will be the student-athlete alumni reception. If you have played for the Bearcats at any time, we invite you to come back. We've got invitations that have been going out via mail and email. So we hope to see a lot of familiar faces back on campus on Saturday, January the 6th. And Joe, by the way, the rumor's true. Are you coaching in the men's basketball alumni game at 2 p.m.?
That is correct, John. I come into this game with a 2-0 record. And I look to get my third victory. I have a guest assistant who will remain nameless at the moment, but I think he knows who he is. That's always a great event. I look forward to it every year.
And that day will wrap up with the men's basketball game at 4 p.m. against Staten Island. The Dolphins are coached by T.J. Tibbs, a former Bearcat assistant under John Alisi.
Can you make it a little lower? Hello.
So here we go here. Shannon Barrett will go to the free throw line. (38-16) here, 6 minutes here in the third quarter. Second shot for Barrett. It's good. 38-17. No good. Rebounded by Ahmed. And she's quickly going to go the other way. But in the process, loses the ball.
Yeah, she probably should have gone to the basket herself with that.
And no good. Rebounded by Barrett, who hits the floor again.
Barrett appears to be okay.
Yeah, for Shannon, that's her 9th rebound, so she's a rebound away from another double-double. And here comes Ahmed. Gets fouled, so she's going to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, she drew the contact. That's a good move. Her ability to put the ball on the floor, very impressive.
And no good. Another sub by Smith, number 32. Emma Seymour, another player from the state of Washington, Seattle, in the game. And no good, rebounded. And they're going to call 3-second violation.
Good defensive positioning by the Bearcats led to that turnover. And that's what you want if you're Coach Barrett. Now, let's see if they can capitalize on the offensive end.
Here's Ahmed with a jump shot. In and out.
Good-looking shot by Ahmed.
And here's a long three, no good, but offensive rebound for Smith.
Yeah, but Baruch got caught again sleeping. You got to get those loose balls.
Underneath to Seymour. She compliments her teammate for the good pass, 40-17.
Yeah, she was too deep. There's not a lot you can do once you get that deep.
Oh, nice shot. Nothing but net.
Barrett comes back to answer the Smith score with a three.
That was almost from NBA range. Impressive. Here's Seymour again. That shot no good off the backboard. Rebound follow-up by Seymour was no good. Here come the Bearcats. Barrett.
De Borg again had good position, comes away with the rebound. Melinda Spire was so good at doing that, finding the right place for positioning.
And here's another three. No good. Rebounded by Alakai. And into the corner to Marquez. No good. And the ball was out of bounds. Bearcat basketball, 2:49 here to go. Marianthopoulos back in the game for the Bearcats. And Sydney Coe is into the game for Smith.
Yeah, Marianthopoulos is the three-point threat off the bench for the Bearcats. So you do have some offense on the court if you're the Bearcats, but let's see. 20-point deficit.
No good by Ahmed. Seymour with the short jumper is good.
Seymour looks like a very nice player, can go inside and out.
And shot was partially blocked. Ball goes out of bounds, but they're going to say it's off the Bearcats. 2:03 left here to go in the third period.
Yeah, Spire took an errant shot. Baruch has had some empty possessions that have helped put them in this deficit.
Here's a three. Back of the rim, no good. Another rebound for Barrett.
Plenty of time if you're Baruch. Just try and get some good shots.
Here's Barrett driving. No call. And Seymour with the basket.
John, credit Smith as a team. I think the ball touched all 5 players' hands, leading to that layup.
And here's a 3, but it was partially blocked by number 24, Sidney Coe. Got a hand on the ball.
Yeah, Baruch got a little impatient now. You have to work on getting back in the lead 1 possession at a time. Don't get away and start throwing the ball up. You know, stay to a plan and take it one play at a time to get back in the game.
Bearcats get the possession back. Shannon Barry drawing the offensive foul. Here comes Melinda Spayu. Over to Ahmed. Short jump shot is no good. And box out for the rebound is number 10, Megan Holland. Another offensive rebound by Seymour and Ahmed. And they're going to tie it up. And the ball will stay Bearcats' way.
Well, Ahmed and Barrett were there, and they are, very quickly becoming an interesting duo for the Bearcats.
There's Spayu. Oh, does not get the roll. Tell you, it's frustrating. The home team rolls just don't seem to fall sometimes.
Yeah, Melinda Spayu gets to the basket, but has to do a better job at finishing. John, just a quick summary of that third quarter. Baruch unfortunately got away from any particular plan. They started just to throw the ball up there. I know that's partly frustration. But now in the huddle, Coach Barrett is going to tell them, stay within our plan, and let's not turn the ball over, and let's try and incorporate Amir, Barrett, and get them going, because they're going to be an interesting duo as we go forward.
Let's take a look at the total scores here so far through 3 periods. Shannon Barrett leading the Bearcats with a double-double of 13 points, 10 rebounds, along with 2 blocks. Ahmed has 6 points, and Melinda Spayu has 1 point. For Smith, 10 different players have found the score sheet. They're led by Guess Pritchett with 12 points and 11 rebounds, so she's got herself a double-double. Alakai with 7 points, shooting 3 of 4 from the field. She also has 5 rebounds. Bearcats, after tonight, will enjoy the holiday with a few practices as well, and they'll be on the road on Tuesday. They'll be out in Madison, New Jersey, taking on Drew University. And then they will follow that up on Wednesday, back to CUNYAC's schedule, and they'll be taking on Medgar Evers in a game that will be played at Medgar Evers College in Brooklyn, New York on Wednesday night. And then next Saturday, of course, Alumni Day, and the College of Staten Island coming into the Arc Arena.
Yeah, all the games here on in, all the freshmen are no longer freshmen. They've had some experience, so let's see what the early experiences were and how the freshmen react now.
Start of the 4th period. And it looks like they're bringing back in their regular starters. Look here in the 4th period for Smith. And down low to Guess Pritchett. Ball is loose and taken away by Shannon Barrett.
Great instincts by Barrett, getting the opportunity to get that ball and came away with it.
Mariantopoulos to Barrett. Here comes Spayu. She drives up and in. 3 points for Spayu.
Great ability to put the ball on the floor, and good sign she finished for the Bearcats.
And head coach Lynn Hersey doesn't like what she sees, and she's going to try to regroup her players. call a timeout here with 9:07 here in the fourth period.
Yeah, Coach Barrett is just wants her Bearcats to play hard, irregardless of the score. Because if you play hard here in the fourth quarter, it's going to affect you in the next game. And that's how you really build a winning situation. You know, sometimes you have to move on. Short memory.
Spayuo getting her second and third point on that driving layup. Freshman from Staten Island.
Yeah, she took advantage of the fact that her defender was not really playing hard, so she just put the ball on the floor and got an easy layup.
So there'll be a momentary interruption as they'll look to clean the court. Some sweat is on the court. And Jose Torres, our esteemed baseball coach, will come out and do the dirty work there. Big T, as we like to call him.
Yeah, John, I'm also impressed. We have a nice little turnout here at the Arc. Obviously, the weather would, keep people away, but, some people are out. And nothing better than a Friday college basketball game in the greatest city in the world.
We, of course, are not too far away from Times Square, where on Sunday night, the very famous ball will drop to ring in the new 2018 year. One of the benefits to being a student at Baruch College is the proximity to some of the really special touristy places here in New York City.
Yeah, the great reputation that Baruch has, both athletics and academics, and being in the center of New York, boy, oh boy, some really great attributes that Baruch brings to the New York area and to students who come.
Of course, school is not in session these days, of course, with the holiday break. Intersession will start next week. Classes for the spring semester don't get going until the end of January. But it's very busy here in the Arc Arena, not only with the men's and women's basketball teams, but of course downstairs you have the swimming teams getting ready for the second half of their schedule. They're getting ready soon to play Brooklyn College and then Division I Manhattan College as well on January the 15th. Then you got the always tough meet away at Lehman. And men's volleyball will get going with their practices. They'll have their first home game here. First game of the season this year here in the Arc Arena on Friday, January the 19th, with a 6 p.m. game against Elmira College.
John, Coach Torres was just sprinkling some dust. I wonder if he's got a magic dust that can help the Bearcats in these final 9 minutes in the game. Coach Torres known to pull out some magic as a baseball coach from his bag of tricks. Won a baseball championship, CUNY championship, 2009-12, and has always done a masterful job as a baseball coach. Former minor league player for the Kansas City Royals, Los Angeles Dodgers. Coach Torres, no finer man, both on the field and off, than Jose Torres.
Jose Torres with the bow, thank you. And we're back to action here. 9:07 left here in the fourth period. Thanks for hanging in there with us. 44-22, Smith, the Pioneers, leading the Bearcats. Should also be noted that the next game, the Bearcats will be taking on William Patterson University, who are also the Pioneers. And no one realized it until after the scheduling that we had 2 Pioneers coming in today. Total coincidence. And there's a 3. Boy, I'll tell you, Katie McClellan kind of reacted to finally hitting a 3.
Yeah, Baruch didn't close out in the corner, allowing for a wide open look and an easy 3.
Here's Spayu. No good. And another basket for Katie McClellan, a junior from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, John, Smith has had 2 segments in this game where they put their foot on the gas pedal and went on a little run that put Baruch kind of, in a tough position on their heels.
There's Ahmed, tries to find the lane, and they're going to call a traveling. Not 7:58 left here in the fourth period.
Yeah, if you're Baruch, don't look at the scoreboard. Just, tighten your belt and play.
And a short jump shot is good.
Smith College has some very skilled offensive players, both on the low post and on the perimeter.
Short jump shot, looks like Seymour got a partial block on it, and it's rebounded to Smith. And Sidney Coe with the basket.
That's a tough shot to defend, John, because that's just the jump stop and using the glass, irregardless of the defense. That's just a real good shot.
Barrett with the ball, trying to find the seam in the defense. Gives it to Marianthopoulos. And Guess Pritchett steals the pass, the ball. Down low to Seymour, but good play that time by Lizette DeBoard.
DeBoard and Spayu, just like 2 cornerbacks out there for you. Very good hands, very good feet, very good eyes.
Into the game for the Bearcats, Demetria Papadopoulos. No good. Rebounded by Demetra.
Demetra immediately gets an offensive rebound.
Into the corner to Ahmed. Good. And they only say it's a 2.
Good looking shot. And once again, Ahmed getting the ball from her teammate, Shannon Barrett. Look for them to make a lot of noise going forward for the Bearcats.
2 more new faces will come in for the Pioneers. Number 21, Stephanie Focaris. And number 3, Emma Zanier, freshman from Fullerton, California. Here comes Barrett to Ahmed. To Spayu, being closely guarded by Seymour. Short jump shot. It's good. Good bank shot.
Melinda Spayu likes to find the opening, and that time she knocked it down.
And underneath, Stephanie Focaris. 55-26, 5.5 left here in the fourth period. And the substitution into the game, Ellie Jo Whalen, another freshman from the state of Washington, Woodinville.
John, Emma Seymour did a tremendous job for the Smith Pioneers, both finding her teammates and knocking down an elbow shot and also a low post work. Emma Seymour, very good player for Smith.
Smith with the ball. And it's stolen away by Spayu. Comes Barrett. Drives. Partial block that time by Stephanie Focaris. Kept that from being a layup for Barrett. And the three is no good. And quickly, Samira Ahmed comes out, and she goes one-on-one, grabs her rebound off the block. And they're going to call a foul And it'll be on number 31, Ellie Jo Whalen.
You know, John, throughout the years, Baruch has had some very talented offensive players on their team. And Samir Ahmed looks like one of those players. Really good perimeter player, shooter, can put the ball on the floor.
So 4:24 left here in the fourth period. This is, of course, the first of 2 games here this afternoon here on campus in the Arc Arena. Immediately to follow right after this game will be the men's basketball game with head coach John Alisi bringing his Bearcats to take on the Pioneers of William Patterson University out of the New Jersey Athletic Conference.
Yeah, John, some of those New Jersey schools, Ramapo, Montclair, very good basketball both on the men's side and the women's side. Keene, New Jersey.
And Jacks are always very good in a lot of sports, and this year is no different. Back to action here. Spayu, Ahmed to Barrett. And a 3 by Barrett off the front of the rim.
Great job by DeBoer, almost keeping it alive.
Whoa, nice pass inside.
Smith College has done that all day. 2 or 3 passes to find a cutting teammate. They are really well coached on the offensive end.
And a turnover, and here come the other way Smith. And up and in, no good actually. Went out, but offensive rebound. And this time, number 21, Stephanie Fukaris, and they mentioned quite a bit here in the fourth period, really coming off the bench, contributing. Spayu. No good, grabs her own rebound. Ball is still loose.
Yeah, Fukaris, big body for Smith, also can do things away from the basket.
A lot of up and down action now here in the last few minutes as we approach 3 minutes. Here comes Ahmed being closely guarded. Here comes Ahmed with the jumper. Good. She got a really good jump shot.
Bearcat fans get excited because Samir Ahmed, she is aboard. And boy, I look forward to seeing her down the road.
2:36 to go. A timeout is called by Smith. As we mentioned, they are in New York City here for the holiday weekend, where they'll be taking on NYU. And I believe that's NYU on the right side of the bleachers. Many of the NYU dorms, of course, are not too far away here from the campus of Baruch College. So it would only make sense that they would come out to see for themselves who they would be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, NYU, very good women's basketball over the years. Represented New York well, but, so has Baruch.
I want to take this time to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, John.
Thank
And would you please say Happy New Year in Portuguese?
Feliz Ano Novo.
I
believe that's how they say it. That's my background Portuguese in case.
but I love the language.
Boas festas is another thing we say.
Yeah, Sim.
Smith College might have people that recognize that because there's a lot of Portuguese in Massachusetts. Long 3, no good. Oh, and a good play that time by Demetria Papadopoulos. She had her player totally blocked out, and her player, in trying to get the rebound, fouled Demetra. So good play that time by Papadopoulos.
Yeah, that's we'll say it all game. Things start on the defensive end and lead to good things on the offensive end.
And here's another shot by Ahmed. This one is no good. Ball's out of bounds, and they're going to say off the Bearcats here as 2:04 left here to go. You can see William Patterson there in the tunnel getting ready to come on the court after this game for our 4 p.m. contest, men's between the Bearcats and William Patterson.
Ahmed just missed a shot in the offensive end, but she's going to be a threat for the Bearcats.
The key for her was hitting that first shot of the game and getting rid of all the nervous energy. Comes Spayu with the ball. Up and in, nice play.
Melinda Spayu, time after time, really surprises you. Very, very talented player. Freshman only for Baruch.
And after the air ball out of bounds, and it'll go to the Bearcats. Yeah, Melinda just took it into the basket. And I believe she's got 7 points in this game, and I believe that's all come in here in the third and fourth periods. And here's Spayu again. Demetria gets it partially blocked, but gets her own rebound, but is going to be on the line. Yes. Great effort.
Spayu averages 10.8 coming in, so she's close to her average. But it's what she does away from the basket for you, the intangibles that really makes her stand out.
So they're going to call a timeout. Smith, the coach, not happy with some of the plays. Lynn Hersey, although they are winning, she doesn't seem to be very happy with how this team is going about winning, making too many mistakes and letting too many players grab rebounds from the looks of it, from hearing her talk to her team.
Well, John, this game is a tale of two particular spurts that Smith had that kind of separated them from any possible run that Baruch might have gone on. So really, we're talking about two. If you're Kelly Barrett, you take away that you have a new weapon in Samir Ahmed. You know what you're going to get from Barrett. But each game now, Melinda Spayu continues to be a do-it-all player, and that's great to have on your team, and she's only a freshman.
55 seconds here left in the fourth period. Both teams will come back out on the court following the timeout called by Smith. And it looks like Coach Hersey wants to see her team really do what they got to do. Make a shot, don't turn the ball over. Here, short jump shot. This one is no good. But the offensive rebound by Smith. 36 seconds left. Long rebound, no good. Rebounded by Papadopoulos. Gives it to Barrett.
John, I like the way Coach Barrett has her Bearcats playing like it's the opening minutes of the game. They're playing hard, and that's going to carry over into the next game.
Short jump shot again by Ahmed.
Once again, watch out for Samir Ahmed. She's arrived.
From Queensboro, Community College, was the team MVP. And the shot is no good, and that brings to an end our non-conference women's basketball action here in the Arc Arena. Final score, the Pioneers of Smith College, 59, and your Baruch Bearcats, 32. Let's take a look at the final scores here, Joe. Shannon Barrett leading the way with 13 points and 10 rebounds, another double-double to her season resume. Ahmed, coming off the bench in her collegiate debut, 12 points. And 7 points for Melinda Spayu, all of them here in the third and fourth periods. And special note, as many as 10 players scored for Smith, and they were led by Guess Pritchett with 12 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, John, just very quickly, Baruch has a lot to take away from this defeat. Yes, on the scoreboard, to defeat. But also, Samir Ahmed, welcome. You couldn't have come at a better time. And her, Shannon Barrett, and Melinda Spayu are going to be a very good trio going forward.
Joe, I want to thank you for the broadcast. Had a lot of fun. Always good to see basketball on a holiday weekend. And again, we want to wish everyone that watched our broadcast a very happy new year. To everyone listening. And Joe, any final words?
Yeah, I'm very excited to see where the Bearcats go, the Lady Bearcats. And Happy New Year to you, John. And I hope, by the way, I hope Santa was kind to you. But again, everybody come down and see the Bearcats here at the Arc Arena. You have some really good basketball ahead.
Thank you, Joe, and take care, everyone. Happy New Year again.